Spurge here, and in this video we are going to break down the Cardo Packtalk Outdoor. So this is the same as what you know from the entire Cardo Packtalk line. We'll get into some of the features here, but this is coming in around the $250 price point, and this is aimed at outdoor riders and users that are not using a traditional helmet, right? So this is not your motorcycle Packtalk or your dirt bike Packtalk. This is for maybe you're using casual ATV or side-by-side and you're not using a full-on helmet. You're looking at skiers, snowboarders, mountain bikers. This is really for people using a non-motorcycle helmet. And there's a lot to kind of really talk about from a mounting perspective that is different than the regular Cardo Packtalk. I think the too long didn't read for me from a likes standpoint, because you've got some really innovative options to use this with non-motorcycle helmets. And I think there's a lot of demand growing out there in the active sport world. The only real dislike that kind of comes through this with the too long didn't read is that they went with a different shape because they're not worried about it being an aerodynamic, design for use at highway speeds to cut down on wind noise. Is definitely a little bit more of a rudimentary shape to it. And that means that it's really only going to work with the mounts that come with it. Would have been great to see them stick with the overall aerodynamic design and then just have separate mounts. That way, if you wanted to, you could use a Packtalk on your dirt bike or your street helmet, and you could still use it for mountain biking or for skiing or snowboarding, things like that. So that's really the only dislike here. This is something that's pretty specific in its functionality. So when we're looking at Cardo, when we're talking about the Packtalk line, this is carrying over a lot of really what we like to see from Cardo. IP67 waterproof, USB-C quick charging, which means that 20 minutes of charging will give you roughly 2 hours of use time. Total, with a full charge, you're getting about 10 hours of use time with this, and it'll stay on standby for about 10 days before you completely conk out the battery. This is going to be compatible with Cardo's app, and this is going to be firmware updatable. So as Cardo comes up with new innovations and new fixes and new technology, you can update the firmware on this so it's not going to be out of date with the next iteration. Now, when we're talking about how to communicate and how to use this, is Bluetooth 5.2 to your device. So if you're listening to music while you're out there mountain biking or snowboarding or skiing, you're going to connect this to your phone or to your GPS, I guess. Maybe if you're doing some backcountry skiing, but really this is going to be connected to your electronic device via Bluetooth connection. That's not how you're going to talk to one another. So if you're out there with a group of friends and you're on a mountain bike trip or a snowboarding trip, you're going to talk via the mesh technology. This is the dynamic mesh that we've come to know from Cardo, and you can talk to up to 15 other folks. Normally we say riders, but you're going to talk to maybe 15 other skiers or 15 total snowboarders out there. So that's really the breadth of the group you'd be able to get in here. And then from a range standpoint, you're looking at a little over half a mile rider to rider with up to 3 miles of total range spread out. Just keep in mind a lot of that is dependent on line of sight. So if you start to lose people through mountains, through woods, you might drop out. But the beauty of what we've seen from the mesh technology is it's self-healing. So as soon as you get back in the line of sight with the other person, it's going to reconnect automatically. So that's all the technology that we've really come to see and expect from Cardo and the package there. Now, when we talk about setting this up apart from the motorcycle world of what we've seen from Cardo, you're getting two different mounting options. One is an innovative snap-on system, and I'm not allowed to touch it because they had these taped up here, but we'll show you some B-roll. I like this one because this is going to be able to snap on to straps for regular, like a mountain bike helmet or something that doesn't have an internal place to mount to. And then you're also going to get a sticky mount. So if you want to stick this up on the back of a helmet or top of a helmet, you can do that. Now, you have two different options. You are going to get JBL speakers and a curly Q mic included in here. So if you are mounting this to a slightly more traditional helmet, maybe a snowboard helmet that has, that comes down around the side and has some spots to put internal speakers, you are going to have a JBL option with speakers. The other option you're going to get is this little guy, and I like this because it has this little drop-down collar on it, which locks it into place. So you pull the collar down, you're going to snap this into place, and then that collar pops up. Now this is locked in here, and you can pair this with any 3.5 millimeter jack set of earpods. Now, they're really not designing this to be used with any kind of wireless earpods, because most of you out there, doing an extreme active sport, don't want to run the risk of having an earpod pop out. So this is going to be compatible with any kind of 3.5 millimeter plug-in earpods that you can use. And if your earpods have a microphone built in, then you'd be able to use that as your comm system as well. So you don't have to necessarily use the included microphone and speakers. If you're running an earpod system that's a bit more sophisticated, you can use that as well. So just a couple of different options that you're not going to see from the regular Cardo line. And if you want all the nitty gritty on this, you can always check out the product page where we walk into this through detail. And you can also watch the other video reviews on the other Cardo systems that are out there if you're trying to compare one against another. We do a pretty good job of kind of breaking all this down for you. But if you're interested in this one and you want more information, you click the info button on your desktop or mobile device. That will allow you to read other rider reviews as well as all the different product descriptions and details out there on the product page. And if you're still not sure as to which comm system is right for you and your outdoor activity, you can always reach out to our customer service team and they can walk you through all the different comm systems available to find the right comm system to match up with your intended use as well as your budget. I want to thank you for joining us today for this look at the Cardo Packtalk Outdoor. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.